What's up, comic fam, comic fans? And it's time for that new comic book day haul plus reviews. So I'll go through the books I got. I'll give you just a little bit about what I thought about the books. And then we got some 50 centers this week. And we're going to do it all right after this. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. All right, let's get into it. First, we're going to start off with the 50 centers. Alright, so we got some 50-cent books. You know, we usually try to keep it relatively within the same zone. These are modern indie books, alright? Some of them are good, some of them I don't know, but we'll see. I heard okay things about this. This is Unnatural Order #1. Chris Yost, right? Or Christopher Yost writing this. I don't know. I heard good things. My comic shop guy gave me a free sample of this, but I bought this one 50 cents. Yeah, I don't know. We'll read it. We'll see what happens. I heard good things about this one too. Vinyl. It's a wraparound cover. So this, I believe, is cover B. And then we also got cover A. So we'll read this guy. We'll see what's up with it. But I heard good things about vinyl, so that's good. Next up, this was a good book. Good enough that Dark Horse made an original, reprinted #1 for $1. So we've seen a lot of this. Different studios do that. Image and Boom, right? Image does it a lot. They'll do the dollar #1s again. Kind of, I guess, spin up some business and then release a trade afterwards. But yeah, My Management by Matt Kint. So I've heard good things about this book as well. And then last but not least, we have from Kyle Higgins and a bunch of other creators, Supermassive. This was 2023. It's a little thicky, right? Yeah, I think this was supposed to kind of collect or just introduce or reintroduce people to the Supermassive world, right? Or introduce you to it, right? So you got Radiant Black, and then there's like Radiant Sun or Red, and Radiant Yellow, and all these other, I don't know, Power Ranger-esque superheroes. Deadly Lucky, I think was the other one. You know, just all part of the same universe. So Kyle Higgins has created what he calls the Supermassive verse, and this, I believe, was supposed to bring it kind of together in 2023. It was a $5.99 price tag, which was good for a book this size. A book this size these days, out of like, you know, Marvel or DC, is probably going to run you $8, $7.99. So we like that. I think this is called the Prestige format. If I'm wrong with that, let me know. But it's not a trade. It's, you know, if it was thicker, it probably would be. But I believe they call this Prestige. So we got that. 50 cents. I'll take it. All right, guys, those were the 50-cent books. Now let's get into this week's books. This week's books will also have some books, from previous weeks, but they're all pretty much within the last month or so, or 2-3 weeks. Anyway, let's get into it. All right, first off the bat, we have Absolute Flash 4 and 5. So we've been catching up on the Flash side. Gorilla Grodd. I don't know if you see him. He's the little monkey. So can you really call him Gorilla Grodd? Maybe they just call him Grodd. He's in this book. Yeah, pretty cool. We caught up on it. Basically, the Flash is running for his life. His dad's after him after an incident that kills Barry Allen. Or at least we're thinking Barry Allen's dead. He could just be trapped inside the Speed Force or something to that effect, right? So, yeah, while he's trying to, I guess, make up for that and make up for the incident, and he's also he's on the lam. He thinks his dad is like really mad and gonna kill him, as most kids do. So he's just running away. All right, next up we have The Curse of Shirley Johnson #2. This came out, I think, 2 weeks ago. This was a replacement copy because the first issue that came in was damaged. So I find it interesting, like the character Shirley Johnson. I found her really interesting. I like Jonathan Glapion, so I'm glad that he's got a book that he's doing. Overall, I find this to be one of the more interesting Spawn universe characters that's out there. So, and there's a couple of them, right? We got the Nyx book, and I forget the other one. And then you got, what is it? It's, shoot, I was just reading it. But anyway, my favorites, obviously Spawn and Gunslinger Spawn. Those guys are pretty good. And then the other ones are meh. But like I said, the Nyx, the Black Magic, or whatever it is, book. See, they're so good I can remember them. Anyway, moving on. We do have another book, though. We did finish Medieval Spawn. If you are a fan of Medieval Spawn, you would probably like this book. If you have no interest in Medieval Spawn, or even Medieval Times, you may have no interest in this book. But I did find this to give the Medieval Spawn character some backstory, a little bit of origin, some gumption. So now I think I can connect with the character more than I could in the past. So that was fine. So yeah, that was issues 2. And we had issue 3, right? Issue 2 was Bjorn Behrens on the cover. I think issue 1 was also Bjorn. And then here's issue 3, not Bjorn. Not quite sure who did that one. And then here's issue 4. I think done by the same artist who did 3. All right. Speaking of Black Ritual, we're going to switch up things. We're going to get into this week's books. We're going to start with the indies. We have the Book of Nyx. I think it's well written, right? I'm not gonna say I don't think any Spawn is like affluent art, right? But the story is great. The art is above standard, so it's nice. I don't know. It's not gripping me the way I would hope. With that said, I'm still reading it, and I'm probably gonna finish it through. I think they're doing a good job developing the character and telling a story here. So yeah, I'm a Spawn fan, so we're gonna keep reading it. Next up, we have Something Is Killing the Children, number 43. This looks like it has I can't tell you what I think it has. I haven't read it yet. I was gonna say maybe some backstory, but I feel like a lot of Something Is Killing Children has been backstory, if you will. Anyway, I just read issue 40, so I'm 3 issues behind, but it's still a good book. I still enjoy it. I read it and I don't want to step away from the book, so it's a good thing. Still the same creative team, so I'm really digging it. Here we go. We got the same author, same writer, James Tynion, the 4th. This is World Tree number 16. I am behind on this one too, so I'm 11 issues behind. Don't worry, if you look closely, there's no nudity on this cover. Anyway, I was enjoying it. When I catch up, we'll also talk about it a little bit. All right, we're switching gears now. We're off to DC. We have Green Lantern number 5, okay? And Sojourner, I think that's how you say her last name. She's fighting, the Black Hand. Anyway, that's what this is about. Kind of an origin, like what happened that we didn't see. Now we're getting to see it, and there's a little fight between these guys. Who's good? Who's evil? It looks like the Black Hand's the bad guy, but I think we're still kind of in the dark as to what's happening with these Green Lantern powers. So we'll see. Sticking to the Absolute universe, we have Absolute Superman number 10. Superman's working with the Omega Men against Lazarus Corporation, right? That's run by Ra's al Ghul. Yeah, a lot of things happen, and at the end, we're left questioning whether Superman is going to continue to work with Omega Men and not switch over to the side of the Lazarus and the Peacemakers. The scary thing is that's what Ra's just wants Superman to like do stuff, like kill somebody, like you know. And I think he knows once it goes down that path, he's got a way to control this Superman. So I think that's what he's hoping for. So he's kind of pushing him towards let's go do something, we'll see. All right, we're switching gears again. We're now off to Marvel. Al Ewing, he's doing the all-new Venom number 9. I didn't read issue 8 yet, so I can't really give you anything about issue number 9. What I will say about issue number 9 is it has an Adam Kubert cover. Right? Cool beans. All right, we're almost there. We're almost at the end. We do have One World Under Doom number 6. Ryan North. I am also behind on this. I know you're like, Will, what did you read? Like, you said New Comic Book Day haul with reviews. What are you reviewing? You didn't read anything. Anyway, One World Under Doom number 6. Look how he's stretching Mr. Fantastic's face. Like, that's crazy. Like, that is just sheer insanity. All right, here's a cool cover. I did read this. Captain America, number 2. All right, you got Chip Zdarsky writing this guy. This is the Jonathan Tyler Christopher variant cover. Yeah. So there's a Colton. There's a character in here called Colton who kind of has the same background as Rogers, right? As Steve Rogers, where he's the runt. Gets beat up, but has that will and that drive to like never quit. So he doesn't quit. So he gets recruited basically. They keep pounding Rogers, and they're like, "Hey, Rogers, you're gonna ruin everything. People are gonna die because of you. All that stuff." And Rogers, like I said, doesn't quit. Colton doesn't quit either, and they turn him into a super soldier. So there's kind of this thing of going back and forth between the two characters. It mostly focuses on Captain America and his mission in Latveria to deal with Doom, early day Doom. But yeah, so far I think it's well written. I'm just not quite sure how it fits into the modern canon of the 616. So if anybody knows, like if it's not actually canon, let me know, because I can Google that, but why not? I'll just rely on you guys to tell me. All right, we're down to the last 2 books for this week, and then I got some books from San Diego Comic-Con I'm going to show. This is The Amazing Spider-Man number 9. So Spidey gets his butt whipped by Hellgate. He's pretty much in the city. This band of guys that look like the Shocker, call themselves the Aftershocks, are kind of doing some stuff, and Spidey's just so beaten and hurt that he's like, whatever, man, I'm not even gonna stop you. Doesn't. He goes through some stuff, right? He's got visits from MJ, Venom, Aunt May. Everybody's kind of involved in trying to get Robbie Robertson in trying to get Pete back in the right frame of mind, and those who know Pete is Spidey to also get him kind of back. Osborn. Norman Osborn, those guys. And so, at the end, you kind of hope Spidey's coming back. What I do dig about this series is it's kind of focusing a little bit more on the Peter Parker aspect, the lovable loser. So, I think a lot of the books have just kind of focused on Spidey, action. And now it's like, here's the actual, man behind the suit, if you will. Last but not least, we have Ultimate Wolverine number 8. Ultimate Wolverine is kind of free of his bonds. What is it, Dr. Bondanovich or something like that, who's controlled his mind. He's free of that. Anyway, he starts to own it. He's like, I'm gonna dress and own what you turned me into, and we're gonna get some revenge. We also get the first introduction of the Ultimate Angel, kind of put through the same rigors and the same tests that Logan was to become the Ultimate Wolverine, to become the become the Winter Soldier. But does he actually, survive those tests like Logan did? I won't ruin it for you. Read this. I love the Ultimate Wolverine. You should definitely read it. I like it. All right, comic fans. We're not done yet. We got 2 more books. These are from San Diego Comic-Con. We have DCKO exclusive San Diego Comic-Con Ash Can. Introduces us to some stuff. I will tell you, Darkseid's in here. And this is like a Superman book. All right? Metal, right, was kind of a Batman book. And then when they did the second Metal, that was more of a Wonder Woman book, right? And this is definitely KO is kind of more of a Superman. So they're hitting the trilogy. There you go. And the second book we got is Batman #1, the exclusive Ash Can from San Diego Comic-Con. So there we go. That's going to be written by Matt Fraction. There's no words in there. I thumbed through it, but it looked pretty cool. The art looked good. Jorge Jimenez is returning for the art, and he's been on Batman for a long time now, even through multiple writers. I think he's on his 3rd, possibly 4th writer on Batman, Jorge Jimenez. So good job. But all right, comic fans, that was the new Comic Book Day haul plus review. If you like the content, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Go ahead and throw me some thumbs up. That's the same as liking. And comment down below, all right? Do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for next week's books. Peace. Deuces. We're out. Ka-chink.